Right, hi everyone. This is the Sunday before Christmas, and if you don't know already, my name's Stephen J. Humphrey, independent parliamentary candidate for Bournemouth East, when eventually Gordon Brown gives us a bloody general election. So I guess this is my Christmas message to you all, unless I come up with a better one next week. So this is bloody Christmas, and we haven't had a general election. Gordon Brown's still lording it over the rest of the world, pretending to be our Prime Minister, and yet I and others have got tons of evidence to prove that he's actually a traitor. And as I said in a previous post, treason is defined as an act of betrayal. And now the evidence is gathering against Her Majesty the Queen, since she gives royal assent to all the statutes known as legislation that the House of Traitors puts forward as law. And then with that assent, these statutes are then purported to be the law. And I don't want to get bogged down into details or anything, but one of the fundamental rules of Parliament is that no action brings Parliament into disrepute. Now here's me and others claiming treason against people like Gordon Brown, and that is disrepute. That is disreputable stuff. So technically I'm a seditionist. Technically I'm rebelling against this treason, and the law is stacked up against us. Why? As I said in a comment earlier on Facebook, if they're innocent, they have nothing to fear from the court process. They have nothing to fear from prosecution. And yet these allegations remain. On this chilly Christmas, really nice day here in St James's Park, Boscombe. And why? Why won't Gordon Brown stand up in trial and declare his innocence? I mean, if we follow the European corpus juris, where you're presumed guilty unless you prove your innocence, then Gordon Brown is guilty. Then it's up to Gordon Brown to prove his innocence, but he's not even addressing the problem. I mean, I've sent him an international arrest warrant. I've claimed he's a traitor. I've claimed that he should stand up in trial and protect his innocence, but he's not. I don't even get a response. Why don't I even get a response? Look. Does that not say British passport? Is that not a British bloody passport? Am I not entitled to ask Gordon Brown to account for his actions? Am I not entitled? And same goes for Her Majesty the Queen. If I'm one of her subjects, then I've got the right to bring my evidence to her court. That's how the whole thing started off in the first place. The barons in Magna Carta, for example, took their demands to the then king, and the result was, well, it was King John, wasn't it? The result was the Magna Carta 1215. And then 400 or 500 years later we had the English Civil War, and the parliamentary demands were taken to the then king, and the result was the Bill of Rights 1689. And now there's so many of us that I don't think they've got a leg to stand on. So I'm hoping that 2010, next year, is going to be the year that we put the whole of Her Majesty's Parliament on trial. The allegations are quite simple: war crimes in Iraq, crimes against humanity, against their own people, and a whole raft of treasonous activities that I can prove that have been happening since 1972 at the very latest, with the signing of the European Communities Act that basically sold the British people to Europe in the guise of world peace. And now we've got President Obama awarded the Nobel Peace Prize in February, 5 minutes into his first term as President of the world. And then this Christmas he's declared war on Yemen. And he's promoting war as a viable option to maintain the peace. Now, my definition of peace does not include killing people. My definition of peace does not involve depriving people like me of their lawful entitlement to benefits. And in my case, I turn up 5 minutes late for a job centre interview and I lose my benefits for 3 months unless I can prove innocence. Well, that's European law, that's not English law. So the Lisbon Treaty is unlawful because it basically sells out English common law to the European corpus juris system, which is again unlawful. I am innocent until you prove me guilty in a court appointed for that purpose. And until you prove me guilty, there's nothing I can't do. Absolutely nothing. Absolutely, so long as I act within the law, e.g. I don't cause harm, injury or loss, I can do whatever the fuck I like. I can swear, I can wear combat trousers like this. I can call Gordon Brown a traitor because I've got evidence to prove it. And others that have similar concerns can do what they like to prove their point. Because we are innocent. I'm not guilty of stopping my benefits. And yet the job centre can stop your benefits just for being 5 minutes late for an appointment. On the whim of a benefit advisor. And Gordon Brown declared paid for the war in Iraq. Therefore he's guilty of war crimes. Tony Blair actually signed the ratification process on the war in Iraq. Yeah, he's the one responsible for declaring war, not me. I've been banging on since 2003 about no war in Iraq. Not in my name! I've even got the t-shirt. Not in my name, sponsored by that Indian Pepsi Cola company. Can't remember what it's called. Cobra? I don't know. But yeah, so this is Christmas. We got threats of clampdowns. If we're filming ourselves in a supermarket, we get arrested for what I don't know. Because if I took this camera to somewhere like the Dolphin Centre in Poole, and the security guard took a dislike to my face, he can call the police and this camera will be stolen. Just like my van was stolen 3 years ago by the alleged police of this country. And yet I took asylum in sheltered accommodation to protect myself against the cold. Like I said to a journalist this weekend, I said that my last full night in the van was -4. You know, I could have died of hypothermia in those temperatures if I hadn't had an Arctic class sleeping bag to protect me. So this is Christmas, and the fascist pigs are in control. So this is bloody Christmas, and we still haven't had a general election. So this is bloody Christmas, and I want peace on earth for all mankind, not just the rich global elites who purport to be my leader. So this is bloody Christmas, and I wish you all a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year, and hopefully by this time next year we have a new Parliament, and all the best, and hopefully I'll still be here. Ciao.